Do you track losses in your building automation business? Do you understand when projects go bad and why they go bad? In this Daily BAS video, we'll be talking about how to properly execute a post-mortem on poorly performing projects. Hi, my name's Phil Zito. I'm the founder and CEO of Building Automation Monthly, where we help building automation companies to assess their existing talent and create customized training plans that enable their employees to better execute work and be more profitable on their day-to-day tasks. Okay, so you had a project that went bad. It didn't perform. Either it went over hours, or it didn't have enough budget for the material, or the subcontractor didn't have enough cost built in and cost you much more. For whatever reason the project goes bad, did you go afterwards and look at that reason and understand what you could do differently? A lot of companies don't do postmortems. They get caught up in the day-to-day grind and they just accept the fact that having a poorly performed project is just a risk we take as a building automation contractor, and it's something that we have to accept and we'll just do better next time. Well, doing better next time is a very poor business strategy. Taking 15 minutes to diagnose what went wrong and then having a way to capture that information and pass it throughout your organization will separate the average performing companies from the exceptional performing companies. But how do you do this? Well, step one is having a project closeout meeting. We already talked about this in a previous Daily BAS video where you work with your salespeople and you take what you've learned and you go and analyze the project and then pass on that information to the salespeople. But while doing that meeting, you also take what you learned and you pass it on to the operational folks. Now we have a checklist built into our courses that go through how to do this, how to go and properly execute postmortems on your projects. It's built into our BAS project management course. And so you'd follow that checklist and execute your postmortem. But once you've executed your postmortem, how do you take that knowledge? That's the hardest part, taking that tacit knowledge that's in your head and transferring it throughout the organization. That's why we highly advocate, you can call them business processes, you can call them checklists, cheat sheets, process documents, whatever you want to call them within your organization. But as you see that projects poorly perform due to common reasons, that's when you should put processes in place. And as you onboard new employees, they would go to your Share Drive or Google Drive or whatever, and they would go and be able to access the process documents associated with their role. So you would go and take that postmortem, you would take the lessons learned, put them into a process document. That process document would then be indexed in your cloud drive, wherever you want to put it, and it would be associated to roles. And those roles would have process documents that they would utilize and would be trained on as part of the onboarding process. And number three, okay, so number one is to do the postmortem. Number two is to implement those process documents. Number three is to train on those process documents. This is where you would go and implement a training program that would train folks how to execute these processes. And ideally, your initial focus of your training would be focused on the worst performing processes. So let's just say your team's really bad at wiring up trunks, addressing backnet devices, right? Setting end of lines. They're constantly reversing polarity on the wiring trunks. Everything's not going well. Well, then you have them focus on communication buses and properly wiring them and understanding the standards around backnet MSTP as far as length and device count. So you go through and you teach to the worst performing topic first using the process documents that you identified as part of the postmortem. So you see how this works. And that's why our training programs are built around processes and checklists. That way students going through our training programs will be able to take process and checklist documents and immediately apply them in the business. All right, folks, I'd love to hear how you analyze your projects and how you figure out what's performing and what's not performing. Let's have a conversation about it in the comments section below the video. Thanks a ton. Take care.